the least, 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 the least. Oh, I just put Venom down. I didn't say the whole null shit. I hate when I put one word down. I don't put enough information, and I'm sitting there like, what?
I look at the note for so long, and I'm like, shoelace? Why the fuck did I say shoelace?
We built the same for real, for real. Mm-hmm. I put Venom down. I was like, bro, I'm so lucky I just did that, or I would have completely forgot.
If that was like 2 weeks from now episode, we would have been fucked. What about Venom? What the fuck are we talking about?
Venom? Why are we talking about Venom?
Ain't no movie coming out.
Did they announce something I didn't see?
Scrolling through, reading shit from 2016, you're just like, wait, what the
fuck? Did they announce something I didn't see but wrote down? Huh? Jesus Christ. There was one other story I wanted to... I honestly might shout out my man for Nev, because I think he brought it up. I think that's probably going to be like the first like realistic collab I could probably pull off is a Forever World collab. He's just a nice guy, and like I've been following him for years, and I'm pretty sure he recognizes my name now, like my actual name, because I've just been commenting under his YouTube video like sporadically for years. And then he's responded to a couple of them. So then I'm like, I think he kind of knows my name now.
At this point, yeah.
But then at the same time, he wouldn't. But then
I get
the
it.
YouTube name.
I get it.
Again,
I know what you mean.
Damn. I wish I could find. There was some Boruto thing he was talking about, and I was like, that's a good idea.
Let it burn.
Oh, Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan. Did you see anything about that?
She's unlocked it?
She has unlocked it now. And
what?
And everyone's pissed. So pretty much
because Sasuke's in prison in the other arc?
The whole Boruto arc thing where it's like, oh, everyone hates Boruto now. And so then like Sasuke is like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but all right, I'm going to go hunt Boruto. And then Sarada comes out the cut out of the woodwork out of nowhere and just like tackles him and starts crying and is like, don't kill him, papa! And activates her Mangekyo Sharingan.
We needed to watch Shishui fucking kill himself for Itachi to unlock his, but she can think about Boruto just getting punched by her father once and unlocks it? Are you serious?
And he's like, he looks at her and he's like, oh shit. And then goes back to the village. He's like, I looked in my daughter's eyes. I know what's.
I hate Boruto. I hate Boruto, bro.
Hey, yo, that shit's hilarious. I ain't even gonna lie. Everyone's hating on her Mangekyo Sharingan pattern.
What's it look like?
It's
flowers.
It's like
Sakura?
It's like Walmart brand of Sasuke's. So instead of it being like ovals, like overlapping kind of looking, like ellipses, however you say that word.
Yeah.
It's more like triangles instead. And when I say more like triangles, I mean it is like just triangles. Yeah.
What happened to just sticking with the base
what
circle?
What happened to the plot?
Like, bro, you're reading my... So they went from Shippuden...
My brother is hyped for the new Transformers. He is so ready. I showed him the trailer while I was driving him to work one day. I was like, it came out 2 hours ago. I know you haven't seen it. I gave him my phone. He was sitting there like... Yo, we were laughing and shit. There was like a one line where Optimus picks up like the human that he brings. That I don't even know the Autobot's name. He's a funny Autobot too, but I don't really know too much Transformer lore. I did all that shit when I was a kid, and then I kind of just forgot it. But there's like the silver Autobot that brings like the new actor for Transformers. Who knows who it is? And Optimus picks him up and it's like, you brought a human here, and the dude's like, I don't know anything. Actually, I'm not seeing anything right now. And me and Josh just started laughing. I was like, you know what? Michael Bay's not involved, so it might actually be decent.
So I might hear that switch of the net sound with this one.
It might actually be good. And dude, the beast formers and shit.
Yo, wild.
They look crazy. And of course, it's not a Transformer trailer.
Did you? Sorry to cut you off. That just reminded me of Beast, and then seeing the big ass animal, Godzilla and Kong.
I did see there was an announcement for that, or
Yup.
a trailer for that, but I haven't watched it
Me
yet
neither.
because I literally heard about it last night before I went to sleep and was like, oh shit. So
I heard about it weeks ago and forgot.
I think a trailer just dropped for it or something because there was the announcement and I missed that, and then the trailer dropped. And
That's
I was
all.
like,
Yeah,
oh.
I didn't even know there was a trailer.
Oh. So yeah,
Because that's probably gonna be hype.
that is gonna be hype. I honestly, I think that's all I got for the list for this week. You know what? That's gonna be.
We were going down the list. What the fuck was
I
the
was
list?
looking. I was looking at to see if I could add anything else. I just had a bunch of Star Wars shit at the end, and then
I'm having a quick rant about how MASH is the best.
MASH. Now, see, I knew I was forgetting something. I was gonna say I want to write it down so I don't fucking just start ending the episode without doing it.
And you need to tell me the last part you remember, so I don't say shit on this podcast. Because the episodes haven't dropped enough for me to say the shit I know.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna be so much further ahead now, though. Like, we just got past the examinations, and then he's in the school, and then he met his roommate, and then he took classes,
Yeah.
and then
You speak to Dumbledore yet? About
again.
Oh no, because the one with the demon showing up
Right.
and he fought. Never mind. Yeah, yeah, you already saw that.
Okay, yeah, that was in the first part. So yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, you know what? That'll do it.
We just letting this go.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I'm just gonna start it.
No, I didn't know if you wanted to start a fresh recording.
No. I'm just gonna cut it up. I'm gonna save that first part that we did before too, the Naruto shit. I thought that was funny. I'm gonna throw that in before the intro and everything, and then I'll just throw the intro in like here.
R.I.P. Naruto.
That shit was funny as fuck.
6 feet deep. By his own son.
Ooh, that Mangekyo Sharingan looked like some fucking math homework.
Sasuke is 18 feet deep by his own daughter.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Under 18 feet of concrete. Man got crushed. Go ahead.
And with that, welcome back to the Overthinkers podcast. We're here with the 2.0 fresh episode 1. I'm back here with the co-host, the homie LD Lights.
Howdy, y'all.
I'm Nimbus. We were just, roasting Boruto yet again. We just we can't shake the Boruto hate here. I know we haters with that, but we got some points. Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan looks like trash. Looks like some triangle trigonometry bullshit. Looks like she just got out of geometry class and just threw shit in her eyeballs. Just
Naruto wouldn't. I'm in a deep anger right now. Naruto wouldn't have happened if Sasuke didn't have to get his Mangekyo in a bad way of killing either his brother or Naruto. She gets it through maybe losing Boruto. Maybe.
a possibility, and a Sasuke hug where he's hostile. Yeah, that would make anyone.
He wasn't even. I guarantee my man didn't even show real anger.
Nah, she probably thought he was going to, though. That was enough to do it.
Because she unlocked him. Yeah, and
yeah,
then she saw his mood ring.
It was her
colors.
anxiety.
Yeah.
She was just.
What's her powers? Did they
honestly,
even say that?
honestly, we haven't seen it like enough because she unlocked it and then she was like,
if they give her Amaterasu again, I'm never reading another chapter of Boruto.
See, that was the weird thing with it because I was thinking that too because I was
they
like,
all are supposed to be individual, and there's 84 people now that use it pretty much. No, there's Itachi and Sasuke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, and that's why it was weird because Itachi got Amaterasu, they both got Amaterasu.
Yeah.
But Itachi didn't get flame control and
Nope.
Sasuke got flame control. While Itachi gets pretty much, crazy genjutsu.
Yeah.
Why can I not remember the name of it right now? I almost called it Kodo Amatsikami, and that's Shisui's.
Yeah,
And
I almost said the same
and
thing.
I'm like, why would I say that? That's the least known one comparatively, but
I almost did the same thing, so. I told you.
Tsukiyomi.
Yes.
He got Tsukiyomi, which,
Yeah, the infinite
but that's
Tsukiyomi.
also weird for me because I'm like, Tsukiyomi's just like it's a overpowered genjutsu, but it's still just a genjutsu.
It's mostly just, paralysis genjutsu.
So I'm just like, why couldn't Sasuke learn that? Is that really...
He used it, not that, but he used genjutsu
Like, yeah,
once
he
against Danzo.
He used genjutsu against Itachi too.
Yeah.
And so like,
well, that was the stupidest thing to do. First off, so that's why he feels fucking upset and hurt and doesn't want to use it again because he got burned.
It was entertaining though, because it was like Genjutsuception, like Itachi casted Genjutsu while Sasuke was casting Genjutsu, and then Itachi was like, "Psych, actually, I had another Genjutsu
still
on top
sitting
of that
in the
one."
chair.
That was fire.
That was heat.
So that's why I'm confused with like, was Tsukiyomi really a Gekke Genkai? Like, I haven't read like enough data books. That's something I've been going through.
Same.
Is
I have to again.
As I've been going online and start reading through. There's like 78 data books or something like that, and they all cover like a different portion of an arc in Naruto. So it's that's extensive. Shout out to Six and like Swag Kage and all those guys who've read through all that material. I have so much respect for those people. And I know that's weird to say, but I do have so much respect for those people.
It's called commitment.
Oh, it really is. It's some mad commitment. And they have to sift through all of it and find all the good information.
Yep.
So respect.
The needful information.
Respect. So that was just a bonus topic. I just wanted to start it off with talking a little bit about the AI music that's been going around. I know a lot of people probably haven't picked up on it. It's kind of like a niche thing right now because AI is taking over a lot. But the AI music side of things,
don't say it like that.
It has, bro. We have like gaming developers who are using AI for background art. They can make it for voice lines now. They can use AI for pretty much almost all gaming developing aspects. Now they have it for music. We've had it for art. We can do a lot of stuff with AI. So that's why it's like, I feel like the music side has kind of it's popular. Like, I've seen it explode the last couple weeks, but not a lot of attention's gone to it because it's more of gone to like the art side, like where you found out people could draw like AI style manga, like they could just type in Dragon Ball like creator style manga. People were losing their minds because you could just make whatever anime you want on the style of your favorite author. Like, it's mind-blowing. But on the music side of things, I feel like it's even easier, which I think is why it's even scarier for a lot of people. Because I wouldn't say it's easy to do, because it's not like the AI is just generating lyrics. And that's what I was going to say before, when we were talking about this before the podcast, is the AI generates the voice. That's essentially all it generates.
And then you have to make.
And these people are writing these hooks, these verses, and then they'll record them, and then the AI will just overlay the Drake or the Weeknd voice and, spruce it up a little bit. It'll probably add like some ad libs and stuff too, because that's easy enough for it to do. And then essentially, boom, you have a track. And I don't know if AI is making like entire beats yet, but it threw in a Metro Boomin tag. I don't know if he custom put that in. He probably could have, but the AI probably could do that as well. And so it probably did. I want to say like edited the beat a little bit to the lyrics, and they probably could do that side of things, and then they just mix and master. And the Drake music that we've been hearing from the AI side of things, I didn't think I'd be a Drake fan again at like almost 25.
You know what's crazy? 2 days ago, I was listening to music, just J. Cole's radio, and Drake popped up. And I hit the skip button so fast. And I was like, I'm never going to be a Drake fan again. And you showed me these two. And I was like, damn, I like AI Drake more than
AI Drake is it. And it's funny because I was looking at like even newer AI Drake songs that came out like yesterday or the day before. And in the comments, people are like, man, I already miss old AI Drake. I just started dying, bro. I was like, Jesus Christ.
New AI Drake isn't the same as old AI Drake.
This cycle is quick. Drake has to really keep up.
What happened to my Aubrey, bro?
Honestly, if I was Drake, I would get my AI stuff going, man.
Just get a copyright. So if anybody tries to use it, you get money.
I'm not going to lie. You probably could do that route, but I feel like that route's so much more exhausting. Because then you got to have your legal team go out and do all this shit. You start paying all these fees. If I was Drake, I'd be like, all right, son, here's a little cut. Show me that AI program you were using.
But that means anybody can do it and make money off it.
But it would be... I'm not saying you're wrong with that. I do want to say I agree with that. But I think it'd be even more beneficial for Drake because it's his style. Like, he just has to write the lyrics.
But even then... he can't write lyrics now.
You're right about that.
AI
You're
and
right
other
about
people
that.
are, so when he starts to
good
get
point.
slept on for actual
Good
people
point.
who are writing verses for AI Drake better than Drake
It's
can,
funny because that is another
what
comment.
then? Because he's going to be slept on.
That is right. I've seen comments too where it was like, man, if Drake doesn't make the music people
That's
want to hear.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you have to get a copyright to cover your back. That's what I'm thinking about it in Drake's shoes. I'm not thinking about it in anybody else's, because I wouldn't want to copyright something like that.
That's also interesting because, like, I've never seen anything like, can you just copyright a true with like deep fakes and stuff, like with that whole Ludwig and what's his face Atrioc stuff a few months ago, where he was looking up deep fakes of people he worked with, and to at least to say, you know, NSFW stuff about people he'd worked with and other streamers. And obviously Ludwig was very upset because I was one of his best friends, and he was looking at people they both work with. And so, and his girlfriend, I think too. I don't even remember the whole story.
It would have been
but yeah, no, Ludwig was pretty upset, and the deep fakes is probably something that is probably going to need to get, like, just your image itself is going to need to be copyrighted, not just like your work or like videos and stuff. So
art's already copyrighted. Now you're going to need to copyright yourself.
Yeah,
and your voice.
It's weird because like your body is literally going to be copyrighted properly, like property. Wow, I can't talk. But that's gonna be something like,
well, I'll get the tattoo
it's like
of TM.
Yeah, that's how I'm like, it's like how blue checks in Twitter is going right now. Like, instead of like paying the $8 for that, you're gonna be paying the $8 for your image, voice, and like thoughts essentially to not be used, because with the whole, you know, like virtual VPN world shit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like VPN shit. And I was thinking even further with like, what's it called, like deep dive, like virtual world AR stuff, VR stuff. And when that gets like further in, and that's gonna get wild in itself too, where you're gonna have to probably start copywriting consciousness itself. Like, that's like the next step.
They're gonna need to redo copyrights, not like rewrite. They're gonna need to just rewrite them and say like in the AR. You know, because like, think about it. People are going to try to make McDonald's, and McDonald's are not going to want that. They're going to want you to forcibly have to pay them to get that into your thing. So how is that going to happen?
Yeah, I just, damn. And it doesn't seem like
it happens with Minecraft. So it might just be
yeah, I think
but that's Minecraft.
The scary part is that like the laws and stuff aren't keeping up with all of this.
Exactly.
So like, who knows like what they're actually going to do like when they do edit the copyright stuff. Like, because I think there's, you know, limits. Like if you copyright, can you copyright yourself for as long as you copyright like a property?
Pay for it like insurance.
Like, that could work too. So yeah, I just think that's a weird topic, and I wanted to bring it. Like, the AI music was kind of just like the gateway, because this is gonna be way crazier in the next few years, and I don't even think a lot of people know how crazy it's gonna get. Like, I don't even know if my parents have heard anything about the AI music and AI deep fakes. Like, that's something that's probably not even on their radar. So maybe if they listen to something like this and they hear about it, they're gonna, you know, start to think ahead a little bit. But I feel like for older people, it's not as prevalent, because it's like, well, you know,
technology really isn't in the first place.
Yeah, and it's like, is it gonna really catch up to like before I'm gone type thing? I feel like a lot of people think that way.
That's why they don't get new iPhones in the first place. They're like, I'm not gonna be here much longer. So what's
and I don't really blame people for that, weirdly enough. But I also think that it'd be cool to know the research and stuff, just because I'm like, you know, if you have kids and families and stuff, like, you want to be educated and stuff and be able to help them out.
Like, I want to be that grandpa who's throwing down on the GameCube with my grandson saying, "You trash," in Melee,
right? And
making him cry.
It's gonna be a scary world out there in the next few years, and like, obviously, I feel like the more informed people we have, the better. Essentially.
Yep.
So yeah, on to some lighter topics after that whole thing just spiraled into AI takeover talk.
Terminator.
But the next thing I got on the list is, you know, we're going into movies and TV shows. There's been a lot of outrage. Yeah, a lot of outrage from a lot of garbage. You just gotta, we were doing the same thing.
Just finishing your sentence. I got you.
Yeah, we were doing the same thing, just different parts. But really, I wanted to start with HBO. Well, I guess they're just called Max now, which
Huh?
I,
I thought it
I
was
did.
HBO Max.
I
though.
saw that change, and I just started only calling
last
the.
couple of days that must have been a thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's like the last couple of weeks or something, and I still only call them HBO, but now they're apparently just Max.
That's
man,
like
but
IHOP going to
yeah,
IHOP
who cares?
International
No,
House of Burgers, and
no
you're
one
just
cares.
like, what? How,
I'm still just gonna call you I have. I don't care.
yeah, exactly. Like no, keep
But
going, keep going.
they're moving the Bat Family to Amazon, and I know a lot of people haven't been keeping up with like DC recently, but we're gonna get into a little bit of that
Real
today
quick.
because that's popping off.
That just bodes very well for the animated side
Right?
of Bat Family.
That's what I was
because they
thinking.
have Invincible, and that's doing really well.
That's what
and
I was
that's
thinking.
very stylistically close to what DC likes to keep in the animated world, more so for shows.
Oh yeah.
But like,
Invincible's
I
like
feel like it could hit the ground running.
yeah, Invincible's like 4K DCU.
But like another thing, but like this is a side topic on a side topic before you even explain it. Another good thing they could use to like sell or let Amazon use would be Green Lantern, because doing a show with Amazon with Green Lantern would be so much easier than trying to do a movie.
I feel like they should definitely take that safer route too, because no one really wants to do the whole Green Lantern movie after Ryan Reynolds. But
say it like that.
I,
It's not his fault. He knew it was trash.
my thing is,
He
is
got
like
paid.
my thing is like, how did they make that trash, bro? Like they had all the
He even
components.
said that.
Like, see, that's what I'm like. I agree with him. Like, I don't
And
really
he even said that about the first version of Deadpool and Wolverine Origins. He had to write his lines then.
He had to write his lines for that.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Yeah.
They
so
just-
that's why he took the reins on Deadpool.
They put him in a box. There's no way he was gonna make that good, no matter what lines he
That's
wrote.
why they sewed his mouth, so they wouldn't have to write lines for him.
It.
I'm not kidding. But keep going about DC and
I still
Bat
think
Family.
Green Lantern was better than that Deadpool, but maybe that's a hot take. But my thing with the whole Bat Family thing is with the whole comics thing, the whole comic side that I know not very many people are going to know because it's been jumbled up and pretty much thrown in a blender and then spit back out as a new product every like 5 years. But essentially, the whole Bat Family originated with Superboy and Damian,
Yep.
with them pretty much just being badass.
Yeah.
But it was them pretty much growing up together and then being like, you know, I relate to you. Like our fathers are pretty similar. Like we have to go through the same thing of living in each other's shadows with our fathers and everything.
Yep.
So my thing is, in the comics, the big fuck up really was for some reason they stopped it short and we got a time skip to where Superboy is now like 17 and long story short, it wasn't like the same Superboy we thought it was going to be.
Been cool for them to do Teen Titans with them.
That's what I was thinking. And that's why they skipped it. Was the whole thing was because like Teen Titans? Is that why they skipped it? There was a reason they said that they. Yeah, there was a reason they said they skipped
Young Justice.
Oh yeah, it might have been Young Justice where they said they skipped it because they wanted.
Because we've seen probably enough of that shit.
Yeah, they wanted Robin to go run the Teen Titans, and then there was a conflict with that for some reason. I forget why exactly that happened, but
they have Titans East and Titans West too, so they could really have done something with that.
They had the live action Titan show, which is a whole nother topic that made me just not want to see Teen Titans for a little while because that show was horrendous. But
the old one?
No, they had a newer Teen Titans show that was live action.
Oh,
you remember? I don't even want to talk about it. It was horrendous.
I forgot about it.
They fucked up a lot of the stories and they made a lot of just weird cuts to people. But anyway, the Bat Family is kind of a redemption, I think, for Bat Family animation, just the Bat Family in general. Because I'm hoping that they don't do that time skip is where I was leading to all of this. Is maybe we can see something, and it probably will be a entirely original work, but we can see like the young Damian and stuff again. Why
not just see the like what they were gonna do with the time skip? Do the show, start the show with that, and then just start doing your own thing. You know what I mean?
Or they could do that and then go back to a prequel, or they could try and tell us like what happened in between the time skip. Or in the time skip?
They could have the time skip and just lace shit that's happened through the comics into it. Do you know what I mean?
Right, and try and fill in the blanks.
Then to set up season 3 would be or season 2 would be to use the later issues of the comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that
A weird prequel sequel type of shit.
Yeah, and I bring up the Bat Family because I wasn't gonna spend too much time on it, but that also links into the Flash, the new Flash movie, because I wanted to talk about Michael Keaton and his
Let's
role
go.
and what they could have.
Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, what they
I'm
could have
hoping,
done better with that. It's because now what is this? Our 5th iteration of Bruce Wayne now? 4th?
Michael Keaton was already Batman.
No, I know, but like now we're having like the 4th or the first Batman come back as like the 4th iteration, and it's like because now
and Ben Affleck's in it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say 'cause they have to have 2 Batmans, and I'm not saying like they're adding another Batman per se. It's just another portrayal of Batman. I guess is what I'm saying.
Maybe one of them came with Barry.
Which I guess that does make sense, but then that's just essentially a clone at that point, or at least like
that's what Barry is too.
Yeah, so I'm just like it's still kind of like the same person to me, but
kill Barry and give me Wally, bro.
That's what I'm hoping.
Wally West is so much fucking better.
That's what I'm hoping. How do you think they're gonna end this movie? If you had to take a guess, like
they reset it and they start the DCU over again.
Do you think like they're gonna keep Barry?
No,
not like Ezra Miller, but like
I think it would be especially with Blue Beetle movie coming out, it would be a good time to start like with an adult Wally being the norm. And
I could see them starting with a Kid Flash too.
Or that, because they could have Wally's kids, or they could just make Kid Flash Wally, something like that.
I was gonna say I could see them like tweaking it a bit and like making it like Kid Flash, and then trying to have us like grow up with Wally and stuff. Which I
him and Blue Beetle
pray,
the same age.
I pray that this is just Ezra Miller's only movie. And that this whole Flashpoint thing is like, okay, yeah,
reset.
He's just this weird timeline Flash that came out of nowhere, and he reset it, and now we have actual Flash. Because then
they can do that, and then have the like Wally run in, say, and then that's how they can bring in the Lanterns, because they're like not a whole like a multiversal, but they're a universal, and that's a universal threat. So they would have popped up on Barry and been like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
You then with that you could have set up Hal down the line,
right?
Or who? Not Hal anymore, but you know what I mean. Kyle would be cool.
I really hope
anything, just new shit.
I hope they stop fucking around and bring back Jon Stewart, bro.
Yes,
just
bro,
bring back Jon Stewart. Bring me back
That's
the
what
military badass Jon Stewart.
He floats down and he's like, "We need to talk, Wally," and just takes him away in a green bubble. And Wally's like, "Yo, I'm a kid."
Jon Stewart is either badass or getting his shit kicked in. There's no in between.
Yeah.
There's no in between with Jon Stewart.
No, yeah.
And like he has one of the most brutal motherfucking beatdowns when he like the Green Lantern deaths. I still stand by. Jon Stewart gets the worst treatment.
He does.
He really
still to this day does.
He still gets the worst treatment. And
Hal is the biggest dick. And they love him still.
Even they made him fucking evil and shit. And they
brought
still
him back
love
and made him a hero again.
And
well, John was the
him.
fucking whatever. But keep going.
It was pretty much the only reason I hated like the whole evil Hal thing was because of like evil Superman thing. It was like, okay, we kind of went through this already. Like he literally was like just the same thing. But the whole thing this originated from was the Bat family, because I'm hoping that the Flash family, now that the Flash movie is happening,
Jake Eric.
Yeah, exactly.
Old man, and
we can see more of them. We can see more of the Flash family. I know Supergirl's going to be in it, but honestly, I don't really give a fuck about Kara.
It's a Flashpoint. It's going to be Flashpoint anyway.
Yeah,
so whoever you see in that's not going to stick around.
I just hope they don't bring back like a different version of Kara, and if they do, like make her like her own separate thing, like have her own movies or something.
Start her with Superman. At
like
least.
do
someone
some
that could train her and make sense.
Do some Captain Marvel shit, but like have it actually be like cool, or like where like Supergirl has her own shine for like majority of the movie, and then like at the end you see a bunch of people. Yeah,
make her like Kale or Khalifa. Kale.
Yeah, whatever the
just like
sisters.
Timon at first, but then she snaps and just starts going buck wild and slapping hand like
because she's older. She's older than
she's the older cousin
than Superman.
He's technically older, but that's just because of how
time dilation, space travel,
relativity,
blah, 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 blah. And it's just I like Kara, don't get me wrong. I just think that they throw her into so much shit when she should just get her own shit,
Yeah.
man. Like, they need to
Yeah.
give her a good foundation. They keep just throwing her everywhere. Like, go work with the Flash, go work with Green
Her and
Arrow.
Crypto should have their own movie. That would be sick.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sick.
I actually do fuck with that because I never thought like Superman and Crypto was like a good team. Like, it was kind of like
Yeah. Make like sure, okay.
all right, man's best friends with them.
Yeah.
Okay. At least Kara would be like, okay, she has a little extra like support with her.
Exactly.
She's like, she actually cares about the dog.
Yep.
I felt like Superman never really actually gave a fuck. He was like, hey, super dog.
Exactly. He was like, he's like me.
Actually, Kara could actually care and have emotions for the dog.
And then that's what
maybe
actually drives her to be better than Superman.
Maybe give it a cool story where it's like not even like a dog, really. It's like a Kryptonian beast that could like shape shift into a dog. I feel like they could do Crypto so much cooler.
There's in the comics, real quick before we switch, where her sidekick companion is a horse, but it's actually a Greek demigod. And every however many years a comet goes overhead, he becomes a human, tries to get with her, and then becomes a horse again, and she still doesn't know. He's a talking horse that turns into a human over a comet.
See, this kind of shit I'm talking about with Kara, though, is what the fuck do they do
They
with
fucked her over a lot,
Why do they
bro.
do Kara like that, bro? Like, her stories are always so weird.
But they do Wonder Woman right.
Right? Like, that's what I don't understand. Well, like,
so why can't you?
I will say, in Wonder Woman's defense, a little bit, it's so much easier because she has the mascara and just, like, Greek lore to back her up. So if they ever have, like, no ideas, they're like, all right, just have Hera show up. Or whatever her mom's name is. I don't think it's Hera, but fuck it. But essentially, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it pushing because we could go on DC all day. I'm just gonna pray that the Flash movie is like a good one-off and it leads to better movies. Because I'm like 50-50. I really hope it's good, but at the same time, I hope it doesn't.
Flop.
I wouldn't say flop, but I don't want to overstay its welcome, if that makes sense. I don't want this to be like a trilogy. Like, I hope this is like a Flash movie, and then like we can keep it moving, and like maybe call the next one like Flash Family or like Wally West or let's spice it up. We do have CW to keep in mind, so we have had a lot of Barry Allen. I know that doesn't really count to a lot of people, but there is a lot more in the Flash Family that hasn't had really any screen time. So it's like it doesn't make sense to just keep rerunning Barry Allen. So
we haven't even gotten a real Zoom with all this.
Yeah, no, we got.
No, I mean, with the CW,
we got
show
CW Zoom, which
and the animated, but like all the movie flashes we've had, but we haven't had a real Zolomon. Like, come on.
I was gonna say Zoom, Black Flash and shit. That'd be cool. That's why I kind of don't like that this is Flashpoint, because it's. There's so many other things that they needed to make this like Flashpoint, and it's gonna feel like hollow Flashpoint. It's not gonna be quite as filled because you're not gonna have shit like the black fucking Flash running around and having to outrace death and shit like that. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I can guarantee you, it's just not gonna happen. If it happens, shit, I'll come back on this and I'll be wrong. But speaking of movies, we're gonna go. This is gonna be a really quick segment, but Super Mario. We talked about it a little bit, like a month ago now. But Super Mario has pretty much broken every Disney record imaginable.
Animated record period now.
It made
Disney pretty
much 400 million its opening weekend or something like that.
It's already at $1 billion,
and so it's by now, it's crossed over well over $1 billion now. I went and saw the movie with my little brother. I think he really enjoyed it. I think we both really enjoyed it. The only thing that I could say about the movie, and then Josh actually agreed with me, is that Luigi, Charlie Day was like such a perfect combo. Like it wasn't like I feel like that's what they wanted to do with Chris Pratt and Mario, and he didn't turn out that bad because they did some movie magic there. I'm not gonna lie, they made his voice sound at least like Brooklyn Mario is like what they were going for. So they made it so they started in Brooklyn, and then Mario was really just a regular Brooklyner, and so it kind of made sense to have Chris Pratt.
Real people, or is it like
animated? It's all animated.
Okay,
I would think of it as
gonna say like the Sonic.
Think of it as like the Incredibles type animation, except it's like it's imagination. What is it called? Illumination. It's Illumination. So they have theirs. It's like Incredibles if it was 4K. It's like if Pixar did their shit nowadays and just made it, crystal. Like,
yeah.
And so his Mario's dad's kind of hard on him because like they pretty much gave up everything to start this plumbing business and blah blah blah. So they're in the heart of Brooklyn. His father's like kind of a hard ass Brooklyner, and so they end up going through the pipe and all that blah blah blah. And so it kind of made sense to have Chris Pratt be a regular Brooklyn Mario. It kind of kills some of the energy for me in some of the scenes with Mario, where he sounds just kind of like I don't want to say like a dumb New Yorker, but like he just kind of sounds like he doesn't really know what's going on, and that like he doesn't have any way of finding out what's going on. He's just sort of going with the flow.
That's Chris Pratt.
And I was gonna say it's just mostly Chris Pratt just coming out. Like they wrote him like to a T like Chris Pratt, and I don't really know how I feel about that. It's not like a bad decision. I would have just rather Mario have a little more confidence towards the beginning, but I could see it was a slow burn type of thing. And so essentially, I think the movie was really good. I think it deserves all the shine it got. My thing that I was gonna say before though is Luigi really needs more shine in the next movie. And honestly, I feel like they need to just make a Luigi's Mansion movie.
No, bro.
They just need to do it.
Especially they could be like, oh, it's a wind down from this movie. Oh, you get a letter like, oh, come to this hotel, go over, and then them get captured, and Luigi's gotta get the rest of them.
I dare say
it could be him and Daisy.
I'd enjoy it a lot more. I feel like I'm not even gonna lie.
I would watch that.
The movie's good, but I really feel like the Super Mario movie was like a Peach movie for me. Peach had all like the crazy scenes with the ice flower, the fire flower in the beginning where she first transforms and like to light their campfire, where it was such a mundane activity, but they made it look crazy because like the fire's like crawling up her arm, and then like her dress slowly changes as the rest of the flames envelop her, and then boom, she lights the campfire and it's over. But I just like Peach just had crazy amounts of screen time and just dope scenes, really, where it starts off with her pretty much telling Mario her story of how she just wandered into Mushroom Kingdom, and that's her earliest memories. And then they made her princess. She's been running this shit. She has other scenes where like Bowser shows up. She tells them all to evacuate. And, she pulls up on her dirt bike straight out of Mario Kart. And then she tells them all to evacuate. And she pulls up on Bowser like, you want the hands? I know you breathe fire, but I got smoke for you. And then Bowser's like, oh, damn. And so then Bowser's like, well, you're not going to marry me. I'm just going to kill your toads. And that's like the only reason Peach gave like a fuck about anything. Like she was about to just run the hands the whole movie. So I had mad respect for how they did Peach in this movie. And Mario is just, they want to have him have like a more, I guess, hero's journey. That's what I was going to say. Like, I guess they want it to be like more like, maybe by like the third Super Mario movie, he knows like everything and is just, confident and is in charge. And I think by the end of the movie, they showed you a little bit, but it just seemed like, since it's his first time there, he has no idea what he's doing. And he actually doesn't like mushrooms is what they made in the movie. So that was a whole bit in the beginning of the movie where he pretty much is just throwing up mushrooms because he hates eating them. I guess that was something they decided to add, which it was just like there's little things here and there with Mario where I was like, it just doesn't seem as genuinely Mario, but still a good movie. What do you think if they did a Luigi's Mansion movie though? Do you think like, is King Boo always going to be the villain? Do they switch up villains? Like, how would that...
It's always King Boo.
It's always King Boo. So I feel like that would really just be like a spin-off kind of thing. That'd be like a one and done.
Where did Luigi go again in the movie?
Luigi was just a prisoner most of the movie.
In jail, right?
Yeah. They both go through the pipe. They get separated. And Luigi
do you get to see a lot of Luigi in jail?
Nah.
They could say that King Boo was... or Boo was the jailer, got fired, and then... or some shit like that to make him King Boo and then start going after Luigi. So he has to learn it all, you know what I mean?
I could see it. I just hope Luigi gets more shine, man. I really hope they either do like a show or a movie, because honestly, he's a little more interesting. I feel like with a character arc.
They could do a crazy show with Luigi, like a Ghost Adventurers type of shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Him going from place to place,
and then
it's like King Boo who infests it with other like underling bosses.
He has
and he has to get
minions.
them.
King Boo probably has like a royal family, so he'd probably feel like a Prince Boo they'd make out of nowhere or something.
Yep.
But like my thing with that is like Luigi's character progression would probably be a lot better than Mario's, where it seems like they're forcing Mario's a little bit.
Yeah.
Where like Luigi is like, he starts off timid, he starts off nervous.
That's always why I like Luigi better.
It's just it meshes. It meshes better because like then when he eventually becomes like a confident and like knows what he's doing, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. I really hope they do put out some more Super Mario stuff. I think Disney is in trouble. They're gonna have to watch out for that shit because honestly, Disney's been throwing flop after flop, and I know we talked about it in one of our first episodes, but I do think
we've talked about it multiple times.
If Disney keeps putting out shit like this, they eventually gonna run out of money.
Yeah. Sony might swing back over at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Like Sony might have to start buying some of their shit because Disney's gonna need a bailout here. And obviously, I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. But next 10 years, I'd watch out. And that actually leads me into one of my other topics I was going to talk about a little bit, where this is a little more of me kind of ranting. And I got a rant for now. And then after this, the homie's going to start his rant.
Yes, I do.
So welcome to the rant zone. Ding, ding, ding. I got you for 3 minutes, Spider Boy. So what I was starting with is Star Wars The Fallen Order is probably one of the better Star Wars games we've gotten in like the last 10 years, to be completely honest with you. I don't remember when The Force Unleashed unlocked. That's still one of the best Star Wars games I've ever played. So if anyone needs a new game that's not very new, but they haven't played it before, then go pick up The Force Unleashed. Honestly, all those games are great. It goes with Star Killer, totally original story. It doesn't really follow any of the other storylines, so it's not like you have to pick up like 600 Star Wars books to figure out what's going on. But Star Wars The Fallen Order, I think I'm saying that right, is the new game that came out. It's EA developed, and I don't know how the EA like gaming, like Star Wars gaming rights goes with like Disney. Like I always thought that was confusing because I always thought like Disney would pick anyone else to make Star Wars games for them. But
they're making bad choices.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Disney, so I can't be that surprised. I might have been a little surprised a few years ago though when they actually started buying all of this, because I'm like, if I was Disney, I would have booted EA immediately when I bought that shit. Yeah. I don't know if they have any gaming rights though.
But I don't think they do.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have any gaming rights, so I'm just throwing that out there. But the reason I'm saying that is because The Fallen Order was probably one of the better games, but the only reason it's getting such terrible reviews right now is the PC port is horrendous. And that's not really saying the console port is like fantastic or anything. It just runs. And I know that it runs, but the PC version, I was gonna say it's really not running like great. It pretty much, if the bare minimum is it runs, it's barely making that bare minimum where it runs but not very well. Yeah. And so there's been a bunch of outrage online with the PC port and how the Star Wars game has been running, because there's a bunch of stutters and performance issues. And really, I played the first I haven't played this new one. I played the first one, never beat it. I'll be straight up. That game is, I didn't play it on the normal difficulty. I thought, I played Elden Ring, I played Dark Souls. I beat like 2 and 3 of Dark Souls, and I could take this. I played it on the hardest difficulty. I think I got like a quarter of the way through, and I dropped it. I probably should have changed the difficulty, but very good games. If you're a Soul-like game fan, you'll like it. Dodge, slice, dodge again, maybe block, and then that's pretty much all you need.
No such thing as block. Blocking's for cowards.
Yeah, blocking's for bitches, man. I know. And I started off my Dark Souls journey doing that.
That's why my Skyrim playthrough right now is taking so long for me, because I'm on like whatever the hardest difficulty, and I'm just like, throw hands.
But that's really the way to go. Like, you kind of have to be in games like that. Aggression is key. And obviously, you have to just learn how to dodge.
Exactly what I was just going to say. It's the best way to learn.
Yeah, you just have to learn how to dodge.
It's like starting Mario Kart when you first get it. Now that it's a thing, 200cc and then going to 50. You're crawling.
I was going to say, it's weird playing anything lower, like, honestly, because it's like, I just don't feel like I'm actually driving, like, correctly, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But pretty much, the Star Wars shit's just...
Let that rant go, boy.
I wanted this to be really good. I was hoping it was going to get good press, and because honestly, if they made a Cal Kestis show, I feel like that would do fantastic. Honestly, get rid of the Mandalorian now. It's ran its course. Get rid of like most of Star Wars. I've heard they're trying to do a Kenobi season 2, and I'm like, who in their right mind is going to do a Kenobi season 2? And but we're not getting an Andor season 2. I really hope we are, because I heard that was good, and then maybe I would be invested to actually watch that show. It just makes me sad. Anyway, Kenobi should not get a season 2. I'm going to say that one more time. That show was probably one of the worst Star Wars shows I've ever seen. And I didn't watch the whole thing. And it's fucking so. Oh, it's so angry. It makes me so angry because like Kenobi's one of the best characters in Star Wars. His character development was fantastic. Him like not really wanting to train Anakin, and then the relationship he has with Anakin, and even before that when he's first becoming a Jedi and everything, and this dude was trying to get with a fucking senator almost like Anakin, but it was like a prelude to what Anakin later has to go through. Like Obi-Wan is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. And so with all of what's happening with Star Wars, it's been really sad. And with the Star Wars Fallen Order port, I hopefully it updates soon and it's good, but like it's sad that Star Wars isn't getting the love it deserves. And that also brings me into the last little bit that I was going to say with Mandalorian, because like I said, Mandalorian it can go away now. Season 3 pretty much is just Mando takes a bath, and I was probably the most invested in Mandalorian when season 1 dropped. I loved that show, and I even liked Boba Fett, and people hated that show. And I wouldn't say I like thought it was fantastic or anything. I just kind of liked being back in the world. And then other people said Mando being in it was bad for the Boba Fett show, but I thought, well, if Boba Fett isn't gonna hold up, then like might as well bring Mando back to hold up the show. And obviously, I don't think Boba Fett really was that great of a show, but for what it was, with definitely how little they put into it, I think it was actually decent. And so I'm gonna pass the mic a little bit. We're gonna transition into a little bit of anime and TV shows. So uh, imagine Harry Potter, okay? But imagine Harry Potter the spotter. Imagine Harry Potter benching 450 pounds easily, one hand. Imagine Harry Potter if he could just pull up to the gym, do everything in that bitch, walk out without a sweat. That is what my homie here is going to be talking about. My homie Mash.
One of the best protagonists we've gotten in an anime or manga in a long time, I think. I can't lie. He's a lot like, obviously, Saitama, which I'm surprised there hasn't been more people bitching about that.
I said that immediately, and I haven't seen anyone say that.
But he literally, like, thinks. He has critical thinking abilities other than, like... I just don't understand. Out of all the things people are upset about, they compare it to Black Clover.
Yeah, a little backstory. Marshall Magic and Muscles is pretty much
Harry Potter, but games.
Harry Potter, but the main character can't use magic.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. He's the chosen one still, but he's the chosen one that doesn't have to use the same thing as the Muggles, even though they're all magical people, so they technically wouldn't be Muggles. But to him, they're Muggles because he's just better. He's stronger.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole Black Clover comparison, I'm more confused about it by the day because their personalities are so different as well. Are so different.
Asta's a bitch.
Asta's just so annoying.
I'm 98 chapters deep through MASH. I got through 13 of Black Clover. The main character is kind of a driving force for why you can get through any chapters of any comic, manga, or anything. Asta sucks, man. He's just a whiny little bitch while MASH pulls up and he's like, yeah, so I'm going to beat your ass. You're going to become my friend and suck it the fuck up. Breaks the dude's jaw and he's like, fuck, he was right. And I can tell you that, and it's still going to be better than Black Clover to read and watch.
My main problem with Black Clover is they've made it... I can see why they compare it MASH to Black Clover because the whole thing in Black Clover was Asta didn't have magic at the beginning. So he was pretty much Goku with it. He wanted to just train. He needed to have the most crazy physical prowess so he could stand up to people who could use magic. But the problem with that is they immediately supersede that by having him get a demon grimoire essentially flying out of nowhere, the RNG off the charts because it just lands on his lap right when he needs it. Of course, we've heard of plot armor, but this was plot weapon. It literally just...
How do they not compare Asta, sorry to cut you off, more so to Naruto?
Well, I think they were originally.
At first, that's
I was going
right.
to say, I think
Yeah.
originally
Okay,
they
keep
were
going.
comparing him to
Ignore me,
Naruto.
but-
I think that's why originally Black Clover did get some hate because they were like, this man's just a Naruto ripoff with no chakra, essentially. So I think that's, I'm bouncing off of what you said because I just want to, kind of reconfirm why it's compared. And I think the big problem with Black Clover's thing is like, they immediately got rid of training being kind of important. Like, yeah, he still has to train, but like he has anti-magic. It's not like MASH who has to like think of ways to
around it,
have anti-magic strategies. Asta just straight up has anti-magic.
This is the thing with every anime or manga. If the main character is trying to train, you always see them. Now, this is a stupid detail, but this is just a detail that I appreciate. When Saitama, Goku, Vegeta, any of them train and then go back to anything, all they do is eat first. They have to make sure that their body is actually well kept. Asta is just working out and somehow just gaining this ability, and then doesn't, after working out, test those abilities. He just knows he can use them. Or if he's in the fight, he unlocks it.
Yeah, it's just crazy because most of his like raw strength is just like, oh, he holds a big sword because he's trained, and it's like, well, we don't really see like how strong he actually like is. It's mostly just his anti-magic that supports him.
Yeah,
it's not like he puts his fucking hands in the dirt, lifts out a mountain, and starts throwing it at people. It's not like
MASH does that.
Yeah, I was gonna say MASH would do that, but like, and we know MASH is that strong because we have seen from like chapter 1. This man is off the charts with his physical prowess.
Yeah.
Asta, they wanted you to think he was off the charts with his physical prowess, but then it just slowly starts becoming, oh, he has his own magic.
Yeah, he pretty much made his own brand of magic.
He's using magic.
Yeah.
It's anti-magic, but it's magic because it's pretty much an aura. He can manipulate it.
It counteracts other magic, but there's magic to counteract his magic. That makes it magic.
Yeah, he gets ranged abilities. He can fly on his sword.
Exactly. He can fly after a while, just in general.
Yeah. So, because he grows wings out of his manipulated anti-magic. And MASH can fly as well, but it's the more, I don't want to say practical way, but the more realistic way is really what I want to say, is him just
he chucks that bitch as hard as he can, squats, throws himself at it, gets on top, and he's flying. Or if he's playing Quidditch, my man just kicks the air like he's my guy to stay up because of the force of the wind he's kicking.
That's the craziest part to me. His broomstick, he can't fly because he can't channel magic. So this man just kicks the air to float. It's like what they do in like the Tanuki suit in Mario.
Yes. Yup.
The man's built that different. He doesn't need a suit for that. He just does that.
That's what everybody was like, well, what are you going to do? What is he going to do when he meets a test he can't pass? His response is, oh, I'm going to pass it. And he passes it because he uses his fucking brain. He doesn't just use raw power to punch through shit. Yeah, he does. But he actually has to fight and use strategy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I will say his confidence is a lot better than Asta's.
That's just something that's so appreciated, where he has confidence in himself to throw hands instead of being shaky.
Yeah.
And then builds up his team to be strong with him because they have to change the world.
Yeah.
They give their side characters more development than any other anime that's dropping more so.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have what the clips I've seen, they have better character development than not even just Black Clover, but than a lot of people, because it's hard. It's hard for these animes to keep showing like these side characters when they just want to progress the story. But it's like we need to know about these side characters, or whenever you show them, we don't care.
Exactly. That's why they're always together. Like, as you start to see the show and everything, his friends, his group, they're always together because they never know if they're going to need each other to lean on. Like, they actually work as a group. Not just like, oh, Team 7, but they all hate each other. What? Like, what would be the point of the group? They actually rely on each other, help each other out, and then right when they're at the brink, Mash shows up and he's like, I really appreciate what y'all did for me. Let me end this.
Yeah, I also think it's better because Mash has a more concentrated friend group rather than like Asta, where he's like, I need to be friends with everyone in the kingdom.
Like, Mash gets like that at a certain extent, but like he's just like, yeah,
he's not looking out. He's not looking to do that.
No,
though.
exactly.
If people come to him to be friends, and obviously he's not going to be like, no,
exactly.
But
like, and then he'll beat someone that's air quotes his villain or like a better than him, and they're like, you know what, you're pretty cool, dude. Dap me up. And he's like, all right. And then they're just like that kid you would see in school where you kind of just see him in one class and see him in the hall a little bit. You dap him up, and that was it. That's how they treat it.
Yeah. And to do a quick synopsis on MASH for anyone who doesn't know what this is, for, you know, especially if you're not an anime watcher, for people who don't watch that, it's a
lot like Harry Potter.
It starts off with, unlike Harry Potter though, it doesn't really give you a lot in the beginning. So MASH is just kind of dropped off somewhere. I think it was on like the side of the road, or it was like next to a river or something.
Yeah.
But MASH is dropped off, and we get like this backstory of this older wizard, I guess you should say, who wasn't very good at magic. He was kind of like a failure and everything. And so then he ends up stumbling upon MASH one day, and for some reason he has like this calling, like this is his purpose. And so that's essentially how the story starts. And for some reason, which I'm kind of confused about, he knows like off rip that he can't use magic.
You can sense.
He could sense the magic.
Yeah. It's not like you can Byakugan or Sharingan see the aura, but you can spiritual pressure. I would compare it to more.
Okay. And so then, what leads to my next sense of confusion is his immediate reaction, knowing that he can't use magic, is Asta's reaction, essentially, where now you have to train every day.
What else does he have?
I think that's interesting as well to think about, like, what else would he do? But I just think that's such a...
They kill him. Anybody that can't use magic, to them, is considered not of God, because God gives you magic.
Right. So that's where I was...
So he's a devil, and they're going to kill him.
That's where I was confused about, because... That's what, like, the first chapter goes through with, like, the magic police pull up to the house eventually after, a couple events.
That's why he hates 12. I love him, bro. He fucked the cops up and won them over. And they gave him a badge and a gun.
They convinced him to go to magic school.
He's becoming a cop, bro. I love it. To change how cops work.
Such a weird plot twist in the beginning, which is why there was so much confusion.
It's so good.
Because... these people who are trying to arrest him for not having a magical mark now want him to go to magical school. And I don't really get... obviously, I'm not very far into it. The homie over here is 90 chapters deep. But I'm sitting here still kind of confused because, like, why would magical police want a non-magical person to enroll in magical school?
I give you a gun, and I tell you, anybody that can't use a certain type of power, put a bolt in their head. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do that?
Not really.
Neither did he, but, you're bound by law.
But then why would he make him go to magical schools where that doesn't add up for me?
It's a deal. He was like, if you make it up there, you can change it and live a happy life.
Oh,
but then he gets his end of the deal by either getting money, I forget, or fame. Or
I was going to say, I forget his...
Homeboy is mostly... The cop is mostly just...
They're just kind of helping him out, though.
Yeah, him and his...
I don't know what he really gains from that. That's why I'm confused.
I forget what the deal was.
It didn't really say too much. Like, he was like, oh, I'll get, like, fame or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, really? But how would they know that he was the one who sent him to magical school and he's not supposed to let anyone who can't use...
Because they're not supposed to know. They don't know. No one else
knows.
No
one would know that he sent him to magical school, so how would he get fame? You know what I'm saying?
No, because after he gets like the
Okay,
title,
so after he'll get visionary, then he's like, "Hey, what was me?
yeah, like, oh, me and Pop Star,
Hey,
you
that
welcome,
that was
you
my
welcome.
idea."
Yep, walking out like the president does off of Air Force One.
I just feel like that still doesn't really. I know I'm being a little difficult about this, but that still doesn't translate to me because that's like a crack dealer being like, "Oh, I made it off the streets. I actually got my money now. I actually bought a house with all my shit and everything. I don't need to sell crack anymore, but I bought that house and everything with crack money." It's like,
and
I'm pretty sure that FBI are gonna be like, boom, 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 boom.
after he's a visionary, yeah, he's probably gonna be able to say whatever the fuck he wants.
I guess I just don't realize how important this visionary thing is, but
They write the laws of what is to happen and not to happen. That's why MASH is trying to get there so he can live.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that type of power. I thought it was like a, you know how they have like an honor roll student? I was like, oh, like honor roll student, yeah.
No, they're like, they control the world.
Oh. Well, people, if you didn't know that, I didn't either. And so that's essentially the premise of MASH. I actually am more invested now that I'm not as confused.
Visionaries are, what is it in Harry Potter?
Well, they have like prefects, but those
no, nothing to do with the school. The
do with the
government.
There's
for magic.
There's like
the whole thing itself is called what?
Well, the Ministry of Magic.
That's it. That's what they are. Because there's more people there than just the visionaries. Like, yeah.
So the visionaries, like the Minister of Magic?
Pretty much, because MASH at one point goes to court and the visionaries show up because they're just, the ones that actually either say yay or nay to something happening, and what they say is the law, obviously.
But there's still students at the school too?
Because the school has nothing, like, that's just the best school for a more likely visionary to come out of.
Huh.
Visionaries are government more so. And after you get done with school, if you're the upper echelon of the students, you become a visionary.
I understand. So if you're like one of the like
that's your job after.
Like if you graduate like as you
top of the class.
Yeah, top of the class. I can't remember what the fucking name is. Yeah. But if you look, I understand. So you graduate top of the class, and then you pretty much are guaranteed like a government position. Yeah, it's essentially how that goes.
Yeah. And then once you get that position, you can change. You can make.
You can change laws or make laws. Or,
yep.
See, that's the only thing I feel like in the beginning of MASH they make so vague it almost hurts.
Because you're supposed to start like MASH. Like MASH knows gains.
I understand that too, but also it doesn't. It makes it confusing of why they would let him go to a magical school when he has no magic. It's like, huh?
To change the world. How else is anybody going to do that?
I understand that, but like without knowing like the visionary part, like that makes it a little more confusing, Like he's a visionary, but you don't know what that actually means.
It's supposed to be like, oh, they're a big deal type of thing.
After you're talking about the school and then they bring up visionary, I always thought that was like a role at the school. So I didn't think that was
because they do have prefixes,
right? But that's not what he was talking about. Nope. So that's why that was really confusing. But anyway, if anyone wants to read MASH, the first 3 chapters are free on Shonen Jump Plus, the app. I'm pretty sure you can just download the app for free too. And so, yeah, really good anime. We're going to wrap up this episode. I'm pretty sure we are a long episode this week.
I think we hit 30.
So I think
we hit 30, guys. I think we did it.
I think we might be over, but
I think we might be at 29:59. We might need a little bit more time, bro.
So I don't know if we at 29:50, but
squeeze out a little bit, bro.
I don't know about that. I'm panicking right now, red button. But anyway, thank you everyone for listening. I know it was kind of a crazy episode, but we back. Audio quality is a lot better. Like I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to record like a couple weeks ago and. I finally realized.
Homeboy got angry, texted me and was like, we ain't doing this with this equipment.
I finally realized that I bought too cheap of an audio interface.
Sent a picture with it on fire and I was just like, God damn,
I was out in the middle of the street stomping it out. It was a dark place for a little bit, but thanks everyone for listening. I hope everyone has a good rest of their week.
Let us know what you think of the quality of the sound now. Please. Since it's got a step up. Let us know what you think of 2.0.
Even if all you have to do is leave a yay or a nay. If you don't want to leave a paragraph,
if you want to leave a hey emoji, and or a horse emoji. We got you. We get it.
We got you. I'd really appreciate that. I'm gonna cut these up more to try and put them out in more segmented, easier to
Manageable.
yeah, more manageable sizes. So thanks again, everyone.
Peace
It's
out,
been Nimbus and LD Lights, the
Yes,
co-host
sir.
as usual. We'll catch y'all on the next one.